Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Train Fever on the North Atlantic custom map created by yours truly. Before I get too heavily underway, I wanted to draw your attention to a map put together by KLJ 3400 or 3400, depending on your preference for such things. Anyway, he's basically taken the map as we've got it together so far and he turned it into a kind of a route map. That's really quite something. Good work, that man. Obviously, now I'm going to screw with that and, you know, keep building more routes and what have you. But I'm going to integrate this map into the series in some fashion. Now, we're watching a tram, which, you know, that's unusual. But what tram are we watching? Well, this is on Skipperchew. I've been a bit busy. Basically, I've played through maybe 3 years, but flipping it, you wouldn't want to get up there, would you? You'd be terrified. Yes, I've played through probably about 3 years, and in that time, I've been on pause actually quite a bit, because I've gone mad, I think, in the sense of I've just done loads. So this commuter route in Skipperchew by tram, and there's a reason that we use a tram, and the reason is that this is only accessible by light railway. So I figured we'll continue the tram motif once we're inside. Yes, I've done lots of this kind of stuff. So I haven't done any new rail routes, although I've kind of lent towards that as an objective. And so there's a high possibility that over the next 20 minutes or so, give or take, we'll be routing up quite a lot of stuff, because we're getting to the point where there's not a flipping heck. Stunt tram there. Yes, well, there's not a massive amount more connections I can make, but that is not gonna stop me trying. So stay tuned and we'll do just that. Right, let's stop following this chap. So as you can see, it's a very simple route. It's just doing a quick lap of the island, but I've also put in additional roads in order to try and encourage the town's leadership to expand that thing. I mean, look, we're bringing in trucks and they might be empty, but theoretically they could be bringing goods, I suppose. We're past most of the upgrading that we had going on in the last episode, and as such we are getting a little bit more production happening now. So this, in the space of a couple of years, has gone from producing like just under 20 to producing 50, and that's because the trucks are actually shipping that stuff much faster now. Whether this pans out in a glorious fashion that leads to, you know, significant growth for both Diamond and Skipperchew, don't know. But, you know, we're working on it. Meanwhile, we're upgraded on trams here as well. These are the fastest trams on offer. Now, it's topped out at 25, and that tram, I know for a fact, can do 31. This is something that occurred to me recently. If we go to our roads here, as you'll see, Small Country Road, 25. Now, this is built on Small Country Road to stop cars using it. Medium Country Road, 37. This bad boy, 50. It's a problem. Have I got a tram coming? I have got a tram coming. Right, so if we, let's keep that, and then let's go for upgrade. I'm going to see if we get a sudden burst of speed. There's a tram in the way. Shocking, given that it's a tram track. This is going to be a bit of a pain. Oh, what have we just had delivered? It's the big boy. And a new tram. Okay, right. Well, I'll have to have a look at that. There's an unending stream of trams in the way. It's going to be ages before we get to see that in action. Have I got space ahead here that I could actually try this out? Right, okay, there we go. We've got our test strip candidate here. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow this chap as I head out of Diamond, and potentially see if it pick up some speed on there. But if that's the case, I'm annoyed. Actually, I'm more annoyed because we didn't. There's no tram track here. Just saying. There we go. Make sure it can get to where it's going. Because that's important. If there was no tram track on it, then this would be a somewhat fruitless exercise. Get rid of that. Right, let's, there we go. Yeah, so you're heading down the Pacific. Now, people are using this route. It isn't particularly profitable, but, you know, it is being used. And that counts for something, most definitely. Now, you'll notice that we've got some steps here that are in need of smoothing. And I left that. That was a bit of road that I built and then removed because I have a plan, a scheme, a notion that might prove interesting. Is this the one we're watching? Tram 2? Look at that, packing 10 on board. Assuming you're going the right way, of course. And what's going on with this bridge? Well, that's novel. Okay, we're rolling. Okay, so it's currently doing 25. The question is, when reaching, place your bets now, when reaching this section of road here, is it going to suddenly up to 31? Or at least accelerate in that direction? Because if that's the case, I'm going to have to upgrade all of the tram track, and it will mean we get cars going along there as well, which I will be annoyed about. I would have thought that trams could ignore the arbitrary speed limit conditions that were imposed on it by road types. There we go. Right, we've made the transition. If we go past 25, yep, that's annoying. That's decidedly annoying. Okay, they can only hit top speed on roads that can handle cars. Well, that's a glorious experiment that's kind of fallen on its backside, isn't it? Right, okay, well, I'll address that later. Right, yeah, so, I mean, I've done some work on Diamond Pacific as well. But the first thing we're going to do today, having, you know, done a bit of observation or what have you, is we're going to build a station. And we're going to build a station down here in Diamond Pacific. And I want this. See, look, I need a little bit more granularity. There we go. I'm going to take that and hope it works. Right, well, you know, that made the ugly. I wonder if smoothing will have a positive effect here. I'm just going to try it out. You see, it does. So I'm going to, yeah, we'll smooth this so it actually looks like it's part of the coastline a little. But I don't want to do too much because I've got to lay some track in as well. See, I'd rather have it, you know, kind of vertical just below the track edge. And then easing down towards the water side. Is that so much to ask? There we go. No buffers, of course, because, you know, we work in a road. That's a terrible bit of smoothing. More smooth. Yeah, see, look, there you go. That's like craggy and nature-ish. Kinda. A bit more. I'm just going to even out the bits that don't look good, and then we'll move on. As much as, you know, my smoothing fixation is on the verge of becoming a meme, that's yeah, a bit more. Just ease it down to the water's edge. No one's going to visit that beach unless you actually give them some access to it. Anyway, right, good. That's that. Now we're going to run this track over here. And there you go. So, yes, we are heading for SAS. That's where we're going. Let's have a look. What do we feel about this bridge? I quite like it. Now, this track is going to... I don't know if I'm going to double it yet, but we'll work that out in due course. 10 million quid. Yeah, I've got the money. Yeah, that looks okay, doesn't it? That looks like it might work. The question is, how much traffic do I want to run down here? Because, depending on how much traffic I want to run down here, we'll either double this or hold everything. That looks ridiculous. Why couldn't you just go across in a flat fashion? Okay, that's too ridiculous. And yeah, I am going to throw away 10 million quid. There you are. Deal with it. Right, let's try that again. Make sure the Diamond Pacific station is connected to the street network. Yeah, I will. Right, let's go to there. Now this is what I did before, so yes, it is going to offer me a similar bridge. But what I want is I want to keep it straight as much as possible, rather than, because look, it comes in for it's actually higher than the land it's working on. No, it's because I'm building it too long. Although traditionally I have struggled a little when extending bridges, but maybe this will be the time when everything just works out great. Right, you're now like that. I want you like that. Okay, so that's on the flat. Probably. It's got the slightest kink in it, but that's okay. Right, okay, let's see if we can take this any further. If we can't, that's another million I've pissed up the wall, but I can live with that. There you go. See, perfectly straight. Everybody's happy. Turn it into the same sort of bridge. It just looks better. And it's considerably cheaper. Well, that would be the... Oh, I've left a little bit more that needs flattening. Look, there we go. Go on. Go on, we can't leave a mess. I have standards. There you go, just that bit, because that's really obvious. And that bit. Right. Okay. Yeah, so I will double track it. I think the two stations are far enough apart that it warrants double tracking. Do it like that. Let's kill this depot, and then we'll head out this way. And this is the kind of thing that we're doing in this episode. And probably the next one. I don't think I'm going to get through very many today. But I want to... In fact, I can't remember if I've even got the first electrified locomotive available. Because if I have, we'll get our first electrified service running. You know, like that. Now, I want to basically skirt the edge of this lumber yard. Rather like that. And then connect that thing up. Splendid. Now, there's several options that I can pursue from here. You know, I can go for connect this up to the routes that already run into SAS, or we could just run a shuttle between the two, which I'm more inclined to do. Largely because super long routes are boring. And they limit the number of trains that you're going to run, because those trains are always going to run, you know, there's always going to be a queue of trains, I think is where I'm heading, rather than the potential for a whole heap of trains all happening at once. Let's do a bit of that. Come on, give me the snap point. There we are. Bit of this, everybody's happy. Right, so the SAS service, so we're already running with two services kind of backing onto each other here. So one route, which I believe is the Southern Europe, heads one way. I mean, mind you, I could just run them both all the way down to... I could run them both down to Pacific Diamond, rather than having a third route. But doesn't that just go against what you were just talking about? Well, it does, obviously. No, I think for now we're just going to run this in a relatively standard. We'll just do a single point-to-point service out the back of here. But let's connect the station up here. No, we don't need tram track. There we are. Now, if you fancy coming up with a bit of trackaroo here, a bit of trackaroo, roadaroo. There you go, that's ugly, but it's good. Excellent. And actually, I probably did want tram track in order to do an internal service. I'll come back to that, I think. Right, let's get the route up anyway. Obviously, I just removed the nearest depot. So I'm going to need to place a depot somewhere. Let's try and do something depot stylistic. Right, if we did, how's this going to work? Because the picture I had in my head was actually kind of cool. Right, give me a relatively standard engine shed. Obviously, you're not going to sit anywhere until you've got some track. So let's put some track there. Although, this goes against the other thing that I've been working on, which is trying to get towns to build on both sides of the track. That's okay. That's okay. Well, it's still good. Right, about there. Right, stick a depot on the end of it. Like that. Oh, if you could fit onto that bit of... It's not going to, though, is it? Although that's kind of pleasant. And then a bit like this. And a bit like that. And once more onto the breach. There we go. And then if I need to go up the other way, we can just reverse off the end of that. Okay, yeah, I mean, maybe it's a little bit senseless as far as building is concerned, but, you know, I'm good with it. Okie doke. Right, so Station 1 is going to be SAS, and Station 2 is going to be Pacific Diamond, which is TSA PAC.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, as you rightly point out. PAC. Oh, right, okay, I'm going to pause just briefly, because feels like technology is starting to you know, get more exciting. And looking at the amount of coal I've got waiting here, I think this crocodile could be in service quite quickly, assuming that's a rail station. It might be. I don't know. Right, let's get a train here. Right, so we're in Europe. What have we got? What have we got to play with here? Now, the crocodile is a European train. This Baden is also. It's not quite as... But you know what? I think it suits a branch line quite nicely. And it's cheap to run. We'll take it. I think, yeah, we'll have a couple of these. Right, let's wagon it up. What have we got? NSB. Sure thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Now, the other thing that I've noticed while poking around is that I've actually got a couple of routes where we're starting to hit starting to hit kind of maximum train population. Right, we're going to need some signals on here. Right, let's put one on there. Yeah, see, you got it, just like that. Now, do we have space for another set? We do. Let's put one there. And then instead of from Pacific Diamond, add station, that one. See, that's a little bit better, isn't it? Alright, good. Right, let's get you on the right route. TSA PAC. You can go in a sec. Actually, I'm going to run it again. Let me just signal up along here. Now this goes to single line for the rest of the way. And to be honest, I think having 2 trains on here is overkill in the extreme. Pacific Diamond is not going to generate massive amounts of passengers, at least not yet. But it may do. It may do a little later. Right, let's go and have a look and see this thing in motion. See, that's a good, uncomplicated hauler of passengers. Unpretentious is what it is. Right, now let's go very, very fast and get that to its destination so I can set the other one going. Let's get a read on its speed. 37, 38. I believe it tops out at 52 or 51. I don't remember exactly which. But for a little route like that, that should be fine. Right, are you ready, chum? You're off. TSA pack. Go. And obviously we're going to watch it coming in. Got the downhill section here. If it wasn't for the edge of the map, that would be quite the view. And if you pull any passengers back in the opposite direction, I will be incredibly surprised. But what I'll end up doing is I'll build another internal, I guess, tram route in order to try and move passengers around the place. Automated doors opening, automated doors closed. Get back to business. Right, good. Okay, so that's that running. Now, next on the list of objectives. See, what the other thing that I've been doing is I've been building out. Should we do this now? Let's do this now. I've been building out rather like this. Right, and then you know, a bit of this and some of that. Just to try and, you know, coerce gently the AI in the direction of expanding in a way that generally helps create good kind of passenger numbers for individual stations. Right, so we go over the top like that. Pop a bridge-based wheelie, and we're all about this green girder business everywhere. I think it is by far and away the most. I've gone off stone. I'm now all about the girders. There we are. See, and maybe this will lead to glory in some fashion or another. We'll set it up a bit like that. Whiz it down this way. All right, and then we'll create a couple of junction blocks, and we'll see what the AI makes of that. Probably nothing. But, you know, you don't try, you don't get. Yeah, I'll stick a bit of that down there. Right, next job is in America, I think. So, yeah, likewise, I'm going to try and figure out another route that takes in Rowan, because I think the potential for interesting growth in Rowan. I see I haven't done it here either. What's the matter with me? I mean, we've got all the kinds of growth that we're looking for. So if I pull this here before the AI builds in a way that won't let me. There you go. Come on. You look like you were happy to do it. There we are. See, look, because there's all this, you know, perfectly viable building land here. If we keep going that way, let's just try something a little different with this one. Because normally what I'll do is I'll bridge over the top of both to get from one side to the other. But let's try that. What's that going to give us? It gives us a really ridiculous slopey bridge thing, which I'm not interested in. All I want is a regular kind of bridge thing, which is not ludicrous. Like that. There we go. Take it and link it up onto there. Then link that on there, and it's, you know, like it was meant to be. That's, you know, that's professional rapid track laying there with roads. So yeah, I think Rowan has got a possibility for something else, and the only thing that it doesn't really lend itself to is a route to Skipperchew, because there is nowhere to park. I mean, I could put a station on here and hope for the best, but as Telman has demonstrated, and even though Telman is generating, you know, furious amounts of traffic, it will not grow into an area that is not already connected so much with stuff that you're putting together. But, you know, we've got action happening here. Anyway, time's a wasting. Let's see. Look at all these passengers waiting. It's all flipping wonderful. That's what it is. Right, first electrified service, and I'm pretty sure the Americans got there first, vis-a-vis electrified trains, which are generally referred to as electric trains. Do a bit of that. Whiz this over here. There you go. Yeah, keep it simple. Where the hell am I? Rhino. No. Rhino. I have plans at Rhino, but not for today. Okay, Brownville. Now, Brownville, you will recall, we built an electrified track out of here, and have I? No, I've not. Right, good. So we're going to build a kind of a commuter shuttle service here between Brownville and Tellman, which shouldn't be that big a deal, given that they are neighbouring towns. However, Tellman, as you know, is, you know, mad in terms of busy. Let's just check the track there. There we go. So this is Brown to Tellman. BRO. Tell. Right, and it's just a nice, straightforward commuter service, but this is also going to be our first electrified service. Assuming I've electrified this bit of track, which, obviously, I have not. This, I don't know why I selected that. Give me that and this. Did you go away? Electrification. There we go. Right. Yeah. Smash that onto there. Everybody's good. And then, buy me a train. So, locomotives. Here we go. This Milwaukee class, 70 miles per hour. It's a bit of a brute. And then we'll give it some carriages, which I believe the 6-axle is the way to roll. 2, 3, 4, 5. 90 it can handle. Thing of beauty. Set this onto Brotel. There we go. So, I mean, because the two towns are very close together, we will only need one train on here, which is probably helpful given that I've only got, you know, one track. There you go. Look at the future there. Look, just over here is the future. Hold on, what the hell train are we running here? That's the mega route. Are we not upgrading the mega route? We are, but we're biding our time. That's a bit of arcane technology running there. Let's have a look. Really, you calling this Tellman sidings? I think that's a bit of a. I think this is Tellman Grand Central. If anything, sidings. I've never been so. There we go. Well, we missed it. All right. Okay, we'll catch it out coming out the other end. This looks like the angle. Do you think? Maybe. No. Ah. Damn you, tree. There we go. Let's chance that. Get that horrible green text out of there. Come on, train. Stop it. Stop it. Although, obviously, horrible green text is me making money, so I should, you know, just shut up and enjoy it. Look, you're really not making a brilliant screenshot happen. That's more like it. Fantastic. Okay, now I'm going to bet that it's going to end up in the wrong platform. Has this train thought through? It has thought it through. Ah, brilliant. There we go. So, is anybody waiting? That's the question. It tends to take, you know, 1 or 2 stops at either end before anybody starts to kind of go, oh, look, there's a train. There we go, and coming in. And that will wrap it up for today. Now, I've got another 4 or 5 of these kind of short hit projects that I want to get through, and I'm going to try and nail those in the next episode. And I invite you to be along for part of that. I certainly do. Yeah, if you would be so kind as to put a like on this video, it makes it search better on the YouTubes, so that more people may find it, and that's a good thing. Meanwhile, subscribe to ensure that you don't miss out on future endeavours. We got to watch something joyous there. Likewise, I think electrifying some good stuff is probably going to be a lot of fun as well. And we've got to get the big boy rolling. So much to do. In fact, too much to do. I'm going to pause. I'm going to unpause when you come back. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Cheerio.